streaming. Gamers, geeks, and hackers get the latest intel on their favorite pastimes. Today on our news edition, we'll take a look at the latest happenings in popular culture, gaming, and industry news. First up, the CEO of GameStop has called for a price cut for the PS3 and the Wii. Dan Martino, the CEO of game retailer GameStop, has joined the growing chorus of video game industry insiders and professionals calling for a price cut of the PlayStation 3. He thinks a price cut for the Wii would help too. In a recent interview with CNBC, Dan Martino said the PS3 is suffering for its $399 sticker price. Quote, that price point is clearly an issue in this economy. He feels that a $50 price cut just isn't enough for the system. He thinks it's more like a $100 price cut. Quote, I don't know that $50 gets you that much, Martino says. As for the Wii, although the system is selling strongly, Martino thinks the sales could fall off. I quote, I think the Wii could slow down to the extent Nintendo may want to cut the price. He says Nintendo has in its arsenal to do that. The component cost has come down considerably. They used to even break on the Wii, but now they're making a considerable margin. Keep in mind, the CEO of GameStop is in the business of selling software, so I'm sure he'd prefer console makers to give their system away and keep the customers flowing to his retail chain. Judge Mathis and director Matty Rich says that they're teaming up to make a game for the PC, PS3, and Xbox 360. Television judge Greg Mathis and director Matty Rich says they're teaming up to make a game for those three systems called Mathis Detroit Street Judge. Rich directed excellent indie urban drama Straight Out of Brooklyn in the early 90s and the not-so-excellent video game 187 Ride or Die in 05. And Mathis settles the disputes of the Lost and Hopeless on syndicated TV. So the pairing is interesting to say the least. The duo plan to make a Grand Theft Auto-style action game featuring prison rape. Quote, the main difference between our game and Grand Theft Auto is that players will have to deal with the justice system and consequences of their actions. Says Mathis, when you go to prison, you will gain credibility when you come back on the streets. On the other hand, when you go to prison, you can also be raped. So take your chances. We may see young people who make the wrong choice and go to prison and are assaulted repeatedly in this game. I, for one, don't want to see prison rape in my gaming experience, but that's just me. In entertainment news, the millionth Twitter follower of Ashton Kutcher will get every EA game made in 09. I wouldn't normally help out Ashton Kutcher do anything, but the actor is now in a Twitter race with CNN, and you should sign up to become his follower. The cable news network and the Star are seeing who can get 1 million followers first on Twitter. Here's why I want you to sign up. If you're Kutcher's millionth follower, Electronic Arts has promised to make you a character in The Sims 3 and to give you a copy of every game EA makes in 09 for your system. That sounds okay, don't you think? Hurry and sign up for Kutcher's stream though. He's already got 917,729 following him. Yikes. Will Ferrell will appear on a June episode of Discovery Channel's Man vs. Wild. Apparently he drinks his own urine. On an ongoing partnership between the Discovery Channel and Universal Pictures will now give us a crossover event of sorts. To promote his upcoming film, Land of the Lost, Will Ferrell will make an appearance on the survival Roast Out Fest that is Man vs. Wild. Ferrell will join up with host Bear Grylls in a location far north of Sweden for a 48-hour-long sub-zero crucible of jumping out of helicopters, rappelling down waterfalls, scavenging for food, and basically just surviving. The actual episode has already been taped, and apparently Ferrell did, in fact, survive. Quote, Will did an amazing job in sub-zero, very unforgiving conditions. Rilla says, he trusted me when it mattered, and we survived. He should be very proud of how he performed. Who isn't? Another entertainment news, Ridley Scott is to direct Russell Crowe in a Robin Hood remake. In case you didn't know, Robin Hood is getting the remake treatment again. This time director Ridley Scott of Blade Runner and Gladiator is helming, and Russell Crowe stars as the old sheriff of Nottingham himself. As stars Kate Blanchett as Maid Marian, Vanessa Redgrave as Queen Eleanor of Quint, and Scott Grimes as Will Scarlet. But the latest news is, according to AintItCoolNews.com, esteemed actor William Hurt just jumped on board too, playing William Marshall, Earl of Pembroke, a master jouster and the only man to knock Richard the Lionheart off his dang horse. The real question is, how many men will appear in tights? That's it for this latest edition of Streaming. This is Taylor Day telling you, keep on streaming.